Hello, welcome back to the next podcast of Andy Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. Still in lockdown, but did go back to work this week, so a little bit of normality returned. I expect all you bald fellas out there are feeling pretty smug for yourself without having to go to the hairdressers or anything. So I'm getting a bit long around the ears now, but hopefully in the next week or so we'll be able to get sorted. Anyway, I thought I'd like to talk to you this week about signature sheets. Obviously, with the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks off, I've been able to put a few things in order. And of course, over the years, you collect things, and I didn't realise they were quite so many. But then, of course, you've got your team photographs with all the members on, so this adds up to quite a few. But I'd just like to start with this one here, which is, I'm not going to take it out of its bag, but that is 1830 Nottinghamshire. I will take it out of this bag actually. That's it there, whether you can see that or not. There was a little bit of speculation about that set of signatures, but I've done a hell of a lot of research and things on that. It's got William Clark and what have you on there, the starter of the All England 11. And this was, they belonged to a chap called Woodward, who was playing in that game 1830 against Sheffield, who emigrated to Barrie in Canada, and that came out of the back of a Bible. And there was speculation that they weren't right, but I did a lot of research, as I said, and found some marriage certificates of some of the players. Samuel Redgate's on there, who was famous for bruising Alfred Min's legs and nearly having them to have them amputated. Fortunately he didn't, and continued on his career. A big name, but that's a nice sheet for one of my earliest sheets, or the earliest sheet, shall I say. Next one's a little bit different. This, you've probably seen these at auction somewhere, is the Centurions Sheet. I've actually filled this one up with Viv Richards, Graham Hick and Mark Rampersad, so hopefully that's quite a rare set at the moment, but no doubt someone else will have to do that. Another sheet here is the Surrey County Cricket Club 1964, with a couple of rarities on there. Mcintyre on there, who only played 3 games. And a chap on there called Gaylor, who didn't really play any first class matches, but you got Mickey Stewart on there, and Ken Barrington, John Edrich, Dave Sydenham, Ron Tyndall, a Chelsea player as well, so it's quite a nice set in 64. And this one is quite a nice reunion sheet from New Zealand Cricket Museum. That's commemorating the match in March 1946, with some of the Australians on there. Who have we got on there? Walter Hadley, Ken Butterfield, Eric Tyndall, Merv Wallace of the New Zealand side. Also Bill Brown, Keith Miller, Ian Johnson, among a few others down the bottom there, so that's quite a nice signature sheet. This is a New Zealand's of 83, not a particularly ravenous set there, but some decent names on there. Jeff Howard for one, and Richard Hadley. This one, New Zealand 1999 England tour. It's a full set on there, which is quite nice. So it's a bit of a task to collect all the signature sheets from all of the tours that's been on, so it might cost you a bit. This is one of my favourites. This is Plum Warner's side to Australia 1903, full set there. Pen and ink drawing of the Georgian Dragon, which was, we think, done by Bernard Bosanquet, who signed it just in the corner. This is quite a prominent one for me. This is England 1982-3, a famous Melbourne Test match, which we got there just before the last day, so we managed to see that. So that's quite a nice set of sheets with a good memory for me. It's also got Trevor Jesty on there, who's called up as a replacement. West Indies Tour 1974, quite a nice set on there, captained by Mike Denness. Got Alan Knott on there. I've got his blazer upstairs with that, which I should be showing at some stage. That's a nice set. MCC 58-59, Peter May's captain to Australia. Very nice set, that one. West Indies 92-93 to Australia, captained by Richie Richardson. This one here is a 1933 West Indian side, captained by Grant. That's a nice set from the Royal Albert Hotel in Brighton when they played down at Hove, so that's quite a nice connection there. It's nice with the hotels and stuff. Another West Indian one, this time 1957. This is the Test match at Lord's. They're staying at the Bailey's Hotel there. It's a nice set of signatures on there, 3 W's and Gary Sobers, this first one. This is South Africa 1935. A nice set there. Another hotel one, or Lord's Cricket Ground one, beg your pardon. South Africa 55. This is a nice set that someone's gone to a lot of trouble to collect those sets in their book. 2 more South Africans there, 47-51. Sets of signatures. Just ordinary ones out of an autograph sheet. This one is Australia 1930. This one is obviously Bradman's first tour, and this is the last game of the tour, which I believe he kept wicket. So he's down at number 4 there, so that's quite a nice set there. Another hotel, the Royal Hotel in Scarborough, that one. This one is Centurions Sheet. This is for the Test match at Lord's in 1930. With both sets of signatures on there. So that's a nice set. Coronation Tour 1953. Australian set there with Lindsay Hassett as captain. This one 1964 set here, and Bob Simpson was captain of the Australian side, the last side to come over by ship. Australian Cricket Board, this is the Centenary Tour, that one there. So Kim Hughes, Greg Chappell is captain, sorry. So that's it. Just going and continue on the Australian front. There's a nice set there of the 1921 side there. So a couple of autograph sheets. That's kept in the dark. It's a nice one with big ship there at the top. And then Australia 1968 with a tie and signature sheet. This came off of the Canberra, the Cricketers Tavern on the Canberra, which is quite a nice little memento from that tour. Don't quite know what it's doing on the Canberra, but this is the Australian set of 1921. This is a facsimile set, a letter sent to the Cecil Hotel where the team stayed in 1921. This is my favourite sheet from the Australians. This is 1909 at Lord's when Ransford scored 143. Which is a nice set there. I think that was got a newspaper clipping of the match there, so I think that was actually framed and given to Ransford for the memory of that 100. This is Pakistan 1962. Unfortunately there's one missing on that one, or 2 missing on that one, which is a shame from a full set. South African Cricket Union, the Rebel Tour with Mike Gatton as captain. It's all quite reasonable prices, these ones. This is a set of the England side that were due to play at Manchester in 1938, but it all got rained off, so that's quite all the team there. This one is a Surrey side, or Surrey teams. That were at the Oval in 1908-9. This one, a few famous names on there. We've got Hobbs and Crawford, Bushby, Bird, Lewson Gore, Strudwick. There's a rare one down there with A.M. Duckett. Now, some called him Mac because he was a Scottish, got Scottish relations and stuff. So that's a rare signature of Andy Duckett. Obviously died at the wicket. This one is, I'll have to take you out of the sheet, which is Yorkshire and Lancashire in August 1911. This one. You've got the Yorkshire ones on there, and you've got Lancashire ones underneath there, with Hornby and whatever, and you've got George Hurst on the front there. So quite a nice set of Dolphin. Next one here is this is a Wisden Cricket Monthly set with all the directors and whatever you on there. That's quite a nice rare set there. I don't know how many of you've got that. Just say who's on there. David Gower's on there, David Frith, Bannister, Eager, Jim Laker, Matthew Engel, John Arlott and Bob Willis. Dear old Bob. This one, I don't quite know where this one came from. This is a Northants one, 1947. What a rare set there. And this one is Australia A against Australia cricket calendar against England A, which is a full set of the Australian ones in there. And the reason I got this one is Simon Cook at the bottom there. He came over as an overseas and he worked for me for a while, so I had a test player working for the Collier-talks Electrical Museum. And then there's this one here, which is an autograph album, which I've shown before, which is the Arthur Mcintyre benefit album. And on here is all the teams of that year. That's the Surrey team there. The Australia team, 55. And that's Sussex. There's some few other ones in there with Doggett and what have you on there. Ken Sutton. Hampshire. All the counties are in this one. It's a lovely book, which unfortunately gets broken up. West Warwickshire. And I've got Eric Collies on there, obviously the famous delivery that got Bradman out in his last test match. Gloucestershire, Jack Crack and his merry men. Tom Graveney. It's Kent. That one. So a nice book there. So if you can get hold of one of those, it's quite an expensive outlay, probably £350 or something, but I always think it's worth keeping them all together. And then the final one I'll do today is this book here, which is A Voyage with the Mails, which gives you a complete pictorial history of the voyage to Australia from England. But in this one, there's a set of the 1921 side to Australia there, which is nice, and a nice little watercolour edging. We've got there, Strudwick and Hobbs, Rhodes, Parkin, Douglas, Hearn. So it's a nice set, that one. And that's a lovely memory of the tours I used to go on. You could buy that from the barber's shop, believe it or not, for probably about 2p. Anyway, that's the signature sheets that I've managed to collect over the years, and obviously going to be quite a task if you want to get them all, but it's a thing to get. Obviously the famous one is the 1948 Australians with Sid Barnes's stamp on it. A little story on there was that I think they lost 1,000 overboard, so Ron Hammond said, and then Barnes had his stamp made, and Ernie Toshak got some passengers to sign and everything, so it's good to get a set of 1948s, which I've got in an autograph book with Barnes' signature on. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe.